Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I went from weighing over 21 stone to just over 15 stone. If you want to find out how I got on at this week's weigh-in, which is week 42 on Slimming World, then please stay tuned. So as I said, it's week 42 on Slimming World this week. If you are following my journey and you know what I've been getting up to recently, then you'll know that I was on annual leave this week. So it was a good week off. I did achieve quite a lot. I managed to do a lot of spring cleaning. I managed to go to the tip or the dump or the recycling centre, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean. But yeah, it was good to try to declutter a little bit. Not that we've got a lot of clutter, we do live in a 2-bed flat, but we do have to do it regularly just to make sure that we're keeping what we really need and what we really want. It also was a good opportunity for me just to clean and enjoy a nice peaceful home and enjoy it whilst I was off work, which was lovely. So I did have a few things on this week that were a little bit stressful for me, but I will go into them in a little bit more detail in a second. But what I will just do, if you don't mind, is ask if you are not already a subscriber, if you would mind subscribing. It really does only take 1 second of your time, just a quick click or press on your screen if you're using a smartphone or tablet. It really doesn't take long at all, but I can assure you that I do post regularly and I will help you in any way that I can. So I would be really appreciative if you would consider subscribing. Of course, it is free. To all the people who view, subscribe and are members of my channel, I cannot thank you all enough for the ongoing support that you've given me. We are of course at week 42 now, which means it's only 10 weeks away from the 1-year mark on Slimming World. I can't quite believe it. I have achieved and changed so much in that time, and I hope that you would agree that sharing my YouTube, my Slimming World journey on YouTube with you guys has been helpful. And I do know that some of you call me an inspiration, which is one of the best and, most lovely comments and, compliments that anyone could give me, but you are the inspiration to me. So please never forget that. And regardless of what goes on at home for you or what goes on at home for me, I want you to know that you all matter very much and we're all on a different journey, and that's absolutely fine. So yeah, let's get on with the rest of the video. So as I said, I have had a bit of a stressful week at times with certain things going on. So when I did my previous weigh-in video, I've got my little book here, when I did my previous weigh-in video, or my most recent one of week 41, of course, weigh-in 41, I did let yourselves know that I lost 5.5 stone. I got my 5.5 stone award, and I am so happy with that. I know a lot of you at home were so pleased for me, which is just lovely. A few people actually have commented to say that they have noticed that I've blossomed into, myself, which is lovely. It really does make me feel good, and I am trying my very best. So on Monday of this week, I had to take Rocco, my dog, to the vet. So he is due booster vaccinations. So he gets them every year, and I took him to the vet. So with Rocco, he is 9 in July, but the issue is that he is such a loving boy, such a fun boy. He genuinely loves fun. He loves to play all of the time. He would if he could, and he does also love to sleep. However, he had an operation on his ear 2 years ago, and it was not a good operation for him. So he had an oral hematoma. So basically with French bulldogs and dogs with long ears like spaniels, etc., it's very common for dogs to get sort of minor ear infections, and they can also damage their ears as well. And so what happens is they build up like a pocket of blood in their ear, and essentially it can drain upon its own. It may take a long time to do so, but in Rocco's case, I did speak to the vet for advice 2 years ago, and they advised that they could try to drain it. So at the time, I didn't think there would be a problem. However, Rocco has been absolutely terrified of going to the vets ever since. He's okay going in the car. He loves going in the car. As soon as you mention car, he looks at you with intent to say, come on, let's go. And he knows my car when we walk outside. He jumps in it and he has a great time. However, going into the vets is fine. Sitting in the waiting room is fine. and getting attention from lots of people is absolutely fine. However, the minute that one of the vets or one of the veterinary nurses was to go near him, he absolutely has a huge anxiety attack, so much so that he flips over onto his back in pure fear, and he is not a happy boy. And so they did prescribe him some medication. However, the medication didn't work. It wasn't strong enough for him. And yeah, so I then had to reschedule for him to go back again. So I rescheduled his appointment for yesterday, and the vet had issued more medication and a stronger dose and an additional medication as well. And unfortunately, Rocco was very, very sleepy all day, very docile, snored all day, to be honest, which is not like him actually for French Bulldogs. I know some of you may think that French Bulldogs snore and snort all of the time, but Rocco doesn't. He doesn't have that issue. He's got a very good facial shape. However, he was out of it. We got into the car, and the minute that the vet tried to do anything with him, he was not having it, is all I'm going to say. So, yeah, the vet did say to me that we could try lots of different things. However, what's been recommended is that he will be issued even stronger medication at the next appointment so that I can try it to see how things go. Now, with intent, the reason for his medication is to keep him as calm as possible, but it's also to ensure that he's not going to hurt himself, he's not going to hurt me, he's not going to hurt the vet or the vet nurse, just because he is so scared, and it's pure fear and anxiety, which is a real shame for him. And I must admit, on Monday I wasn't as worried and stressed about it, because I just thought, well, if we go in and he's not, he's not happy, we'll just leave, which was the case. However, yesterday I had to give him this medication, and I was a bit worried about the effects it could potentially have on him. And I was shaking giving him the medication, because I was just a bit worried. So I had to give him it the night before, which was Thursday night, and I had to give him it an hour and a half before his appointment. So anyway, as I said, the medication wasn't strong enough. He was much slower. However, with dogs, they can fight the medication. If they don't want to, if they're so worried or anxious or nervous, that overtakes most of the effects of the medication. And so that's why the vet has prescribed him stronger meds. So I'm not going to be taking him back for a while. I think twice in 1 week is enough. And so I did speak with the vet, and they did clarify that his current vaccines are in date until June. So basically the end of May, I have a cut-off mark, which I then have to take him to the vet again for these vaccinations. And you may be asking why. The vaccinations are required so that Rocco can be looked after by the kennels. And I know that a lot of dog boarders, home boarders or otherwise, will also ask for the dogs to be vaccinated as well. And so it does allow us to go away for a couple of nights or a week on holiday. Now, it may be that some of you at home are dog owners as well, and you may think that surely someone could look after Rocco for us, but that isn't the case. We don't have anyone who can look after him, and everyone we do know already has very young children, or they have their own dogs or cats already. And that's the situation that we're in, unfortunately. So we have to make sure that Rocco's happy. And if that means more medication so that he's not aware, then unfortunately that's kind of where we're at. But it has been quite stressful, as I said, for me. Now, I've tried to keep myself busy. As I said, I've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. I've been going to the tip. I've been doing a bit of walking. On Monday afternoon, after Rocco's vet appointment, shall we say. I was going to call it incident, but it was a vet appointment. I did meet with one of my neighbours. She just lives across the road, and she is lovely. So we had a really good catch up, blether and gab, whatever you want to call it, for about 3 hours. And she offered me a slice of cake, which I would not be rude enough to decline. It was a lovely piece of Victoria sponge cake. It was delicious. It's one of my favourites. And I also had a lovely coffee whilst I was over at her house as well. So that all started off well. However, I know I did say to you last week on my week 41 weigh-in that I wasn't going to, I was aiming to be on plan as much as possible, and I was off work, and I would have more time, and I would do this and I would do that. Yes, of course, with our best intentions, we want to do that. But what I've also realised is that I have done Slimming World constantly, full on, for 42 weeks. And you know what? I had a little bit of a break this week from Slimming World, and I honestly did enjoy it. I'm now 100% back on plan, but I did have, as I said, a bit of cake. I had that coffee, which I know I should sin, but I didn't because I thought it's a bit of cake and a coffee. I walk Rocco every day. I'd been busy, I'd been a bit stressed out, and that was that. On Tuesday, I had a little bit of a chilled out day in the house. I did some more cleaning and tidying up. Obviously, you've probably noticed, I know some of you have, but we have redecorated our whole hallway. So we've put in spotlights, we've painted the ceiling, we've put new flooring down, and this flooring actually goes all the way into the kitchen and the bathroom as well. And we've also had our nature wall put up here. We've got a very large mirror, we've got lights, mood lighting, and we've got my dad's guitar, which I've put up on the wall as well. So yeah, there's all of these little things here that have obviously made our home feel a lot more homely. And it's nice just to enjoy it because I never get a day where I'm not at work, I don't have responsibilities, I don't have other things I need to do. And so that was my Tuesday for me. Wednesday, some of you may know about this because I did mention it before, but I did go to the dentist a few weeks ago. Well, it's probably about 2 months ago now, and I went for a checkup because I hadn't been to the dentist since 2019 during sort of like COVID pandemic times, really. Didn't get checked on, and it's not great. I used to go to the dentist every year, even though I absolutely despised it because I had severe anxiety with it all. But the dentist that I'm at now is lovely. He's very, very good. And I did require 2 of my fillings to be repaired because they were at that point where one of them was definitely disintegrating and the other one was requiring replacement because there was damage. I think there was damage to the side or underneath the filling that needed to be cleared out. So anyway, I went to the dentist and I was in there for about 45 minutes. So I was calm. I really did focus on my breathing, tried to put myself in that place in my head. And I was really proud of myself, to be honest, because I haven't had as much dental treatment as that for a very, very, very long time. So basically what I had done was I had one of my fillings replaced here, which was a silver filling, and that's now been replaced with a ceramic white filling. And on the top, quite at the very back, it's second from the back, I had a filling there as well, and so that has now been replaced to a white filling as well. Now, of course, there is a cost associated with that, but as I mentioned on a previous video, I feel like I want to invest in myself. I want to improve myself as much as I can, within limits. Obviously, I'm not going to go and get plastic surgery or anything like that at this point, but small things like that can really make a big difference to how you feel, how you perceive yourself, nearly fallen over, how you perceive yourself, how other people perceive you, and how you feel when you're presenting and speaking to other people as well. So they did do a full scale and polish for me as well, which I'd not had done for years, of course, because of COVID. And I've got a bit of overcrowding at the bottom. So these teeth here, and I've never had braces on the bottom. I know I've said this before, but I got very, very badly bullied when I was younger. And so I didn't want to get bullied even more by getting braces. My top set are pretty straight, but the bottom set, obviously I do have these 2 teeth here that do stick out a bit. However, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I've had these teeth for nearly 33 years and, well, adult teeth, but I've got all of my teeth, they're all intact, and I don't really want to go wrecking about with my teeth and the structure of my bite and everything because I know a few people at work have done so recently and they need to wear retainers all of the time. I don't know if I want to do that, to be honest. And again, the cost is completely astronomical. You're talking £7,000 or £8,000 for braces, and obviously the maintenance of all of that is just not achievable for me at all. So yeah, I'm sticking with the ones I've got. However, the ones that I've got, I'm just trying to do a little bit of a glow up with. So over time, over the next year or so, my plan would be to go back and get the remaining bottom silver fillings replaced. So I've got 3 that need to be done. I did obviously have the 4th one done the other day. So my hope is once we're all back from holidays and maybe in the summer, I will go and get the 3 remaining silver fillings on the bottom replaced to white. I did do some at home teeth whitening as well. So I've got some whitening strips. And I did that the other day. In fact, I did it last night, and I don't know if there's a little bit of a difference to my teeth, but I just thought it was a really good opportunity to do it just because I just had them scaled and polished, and so there was no remaining tartar or plaque buildup or anything like that. And again, it just made me feel a little bit better about myself. So hey, that's what I've been doing this week. Yesterday, I did meet up with my friend, and we went out for a lovely breakfast and brunch. And I had toast with poached eggs, and on the side, I had a bit of black pudding as well. I also had a scone with jam and cream, and it was delicious. I'm giving you all of my confessions here, guys. I hope that's okay. But all I'm going to say to you is that I have had a great week. I've enjoyed lots of things. I've enjoyed doing lots of things. I've enjoyed a lot of downtime as well. And you know, when you do something day in, day out for 42 weeks or 41 weeks, I think a little bit of a release of the pedal is required. So taking my foot off the gas a little bit and enjoying my annual leave. And food's not the be all and end all, but of course, food can be a very sociable thing. And if we restrict ourselves too much, it can feel a bit like a prison sentence. And I'm not here to do that. So, what I will say to you this week is that I have had a gain. Some of you may be disappointed. I'm certainly not. It could have been a lot worse. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. And to be honest, I feel physically no different. My clothes actually feel looser this week. I feel lighter. I feel better. I feel I have lots of energy. And I'm ready to go back to work on Monday with a bang, back to routine, and looking forward to the next sort of like 2.5 weeks before we go away to Copenhagen. So you can bet that I am 100% on it until we go there. And then again, I will be having what I like and what I enjoy when I'm on holiday. And then I'll come back again for a few weeks. I'll then have that period of getting my head back down into the game again with Slimming World. And then we'll go to Tenerife on our our anniversary, second wedding anniversary. We'll go there, we'll enjoy that. And of course, we'll go on holiday. And then I've got the rest of the year to do whatever I want to do. There is no time scale to my weight loss, guys. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I don't want to be a certain weight by a certain month or a certain year, or I'm happy to take it as it comes. And if it means that the route is a little bit more zigzaggy and I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying life and I'm sticking to it, then by all means, I will continue to do that. Now, up until the 5 stone mark, I would say I was incredibly strict with myself to the point that things were getting quite tough because I wasn't seeing the losses, but I was putting in a hell of a lot of restriction and a hell of a lot of restraint and consistency. And of course, consistency is key. But what I will say is that you do need to enjoy bits of it as well. And it wasn't like I wasn't enjoying the Slimming World, but there were a lot of things that I completely took myself away from that on reflection and looking back, I should have just had that bit of chocolate square, or I should have just had that cocktail because we were out for dinner and we were having a nice night. I should have went to a lunch with my friends. I should have went out for breakfast with my husband, but I didn't. And looking back, I don't regret it, but I do think I would hope in the future, any of you looking at this from at home would not put that type of pressure on yourself. I do put that type of pressure on myself though, but what I've noticed recently is that I have been getting a little bit into the wrong mindset in my head, not with regards to Slimming World or food or anything like that, but getting into the wrong mindset about what I should or could or shouldn't have, and getting into the mindset of eating lower calorie foods like soups and things like that. Yeah, okay, I enjoy them, but I'm not making them to enjoy them. I'm making them to lose weight, and I don't want to go down that route. I don't want to go down that really, really twisty turny road of a deteriorated mental health state, because that's not what we're here to do. And I am glad within myself that I've recognised that, and I've recognised that I am, and I have been at times, restricting myself way too much. And I need to let you guys know that at home as well, is that that is not okay. And we need to have a good balance. So what I will say to you is that this week I gained 1.5 pounds, and I'm okay with that. As I said, I lost 3 pounds last week. And so to put half of it back on, it's not ideal, but you know what? That's fine. I had a great week, as I said. I've done lots of things. I've enjoyed lots of things. It was an amazing breakfast yesterday. I can't tell you enough. The place is called the Woodhouse, and it is in a place called Kippen, which is about maybe a 10-minute drive outside of Stirling city centre in Scotland, and it is fantastic. If you're ever out that way, or if you're a visitor and you want to find out about places to visit, I would highly recommend it. They have a farm shop attached. They also have homemade cakes. They have homemade foods like jam. They have a butcher's inside as well, and they also make food to go, so like sandwiches, paninis, and of course they have their restaurant, which is so relaxing. We just sat there and chatted, and there was no pressure, there was no agenda, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time there. And I would strongly recommend that if you are in the area, or you're local, or you haven't been up to Scotland yet, please do visit. We're lucky enough to live in a really beautiful area within the country, and it is only about a half an hour's drive away or so to this place. So yeah, I would strongly recommend it, and I had a great time, and that's what it's all about. So as I said, I've gained 1.5 pounds, but I'm currently at a weight loss of 5 stone 6 pounds, which I don't think is too shabby at all. My aim for next week is just to lose something. I don't like to put too much of a pressure on myself regards the number of like sort of pounds lost or whatever, because again, I feel that I put a lot of pressure on myself to try to lose £2 or £1.5 or £3. I'd try just to say half a pound. Any more than half a pound would be great. And as I said, I don't have an agenda. So my birthday, I will be 33 on the 25th of September. Just so you know, so you can send me a card. Joking. But at the same time, by then I would really like to be round about my goal weight. But again, I'm not worried if I'm not, because I know that I have made significant changes to my health, not just physically, but psychologically, emotionally, and I would say spiritually as well. I'm not a religious person, but spirituality is something that is really important, and people think it is related to religion and faith, but it's not. Spirituality is anything that is important to you. And being able to think about things in a slightly different way, in a slightly different light, is incredibly important for me, and being mindful of myself, my surroundings, and allowing myself to go in and out of situations without the fear of food, or without the fear of gaining weight, or with the complete lack of regard, so complete disregard for myself, for my health, and going completely OTT. I feel at the moment I'm very much in the middle, and it feels like quite a good place to be at. Now, of course, gaining weight is something that is normal, and I don't think we should say it's a bad thing. And so if any of you at home are thinking, oh, she's gained weight, then yeah, I have. But do you know what? Every single one of us at one point of our life or not have completely either lost weight or gained weight. Our weight fluctuates every single day throughout the whole day. So, for example, I can weigh myself in the morning, and I am not joking. Genuinely, if I weigh myself at night, most of the time I'm at least 5 to 7 pounds heavier by the end of the day. And there are some days I wake up, and I do have scales. They're actually over there. I do have scales that I do like to just use as a bit of a guide, but I'm not tied down by them in any way. But again, it's good for me just to know where I'm at. And I think getting into a routine of weighing myself more regularly for me is helpful. But I know that for some people at home watching just now, like yourself, it may not be helpful. And it may be that once a week is the most safest option for you weighing yourself. It may be that some of you at home can't have scales in the house for various reasons. And I completely do understand that. But for me personally, that's what works for me at the moment. And I'm looking forward, as I said, I'm back on plan 100% already. But I'm looking forward to getting back into a structure with work next week. I am working Monday to Friday, and I am working Monday to Friday the following week as well, even though there are public holidays involved because of Easter. And then the following week, I've got a short week because that's when we're away to Copenhagen. So 2.5 weeks left of work again when I go back. And then, of course, I'm back for a few weeks. And then when I get away again, it just so happened it's all worked out like this, guys. We never planned it. I did have a week of annual leave to use, and I had to use it. I didn't want to lose it. And so this is why it's all happened at the end of March. And of course, we're nearly into April, which is when we go away. And we only booked that as a last minute impulse thing in January. And of course, our Tenerife holiday in May was booked last April. And so that has been a long time coming, shall we say. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been a helpful video. I hope it's given you a little bit of a feel for where I'm at, what I've been up to, and of course, what I've been able to enjoy this week, because life is for enjoying. And of course, life is way too short to be selling yourself short on things that you really, really do want and would like to enjoy a little bit more of at times. We can't beat ourselves up about it. We just need to move on. And I hope every single one of you at home will always remember that and do the same. So thank you so much. Please do take care. I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.